Backyard chickens have become extremely popular in cities all over the country, and for good reason. They provide nutritious eggs, they make great pets, and they're fun and easy to care for. The Oregon Department of Agriculture and the USDA, in conjunction with Multnomah County, are working together to reach out to you, the backyard chicken keeper, to help you maintain a healthy flock. We want you to know we are not just a resource for large commercial flocks. Together, it's our responsibility to safeguard the city's poultry from the threat of disease, which can spread very rapidly in a neighborhood. Remember, one sick bird can quickly become everyone's sick bird. The best way to protect your birds from becoming sick is to establish biosecurity practices for your flock. Biosecurity refers to any management practice that prevents the spread of disease from infected animals to healthy ones. These can be very simple to implement and can significantly lower the risk of your birds contracting diseases such as avian influenza, commonly known as bird flu, exotic Newcastle, and other deadly poultry diseases. These viruses can be shed through saliva, nasal secretions, and feces. Any contaminated surface in your yard can pose a danger to your chickens. Viruses can be found in manure and dirt, picked up on shoes, tires, and clothing, spreading the disease very quickly. Just 1 gram of chicken manure can infect 1 million birds. In 2002, there was an exotic Newcastle disease outbreak in California that resulted in the death of approximately 3,000 backyard chickens. While these diseases can be frightening to think about, it's important that backyard chicken owners understand how they spread and recognize the symptoms in order to help us prevent a poultry disease outbreak. Bird flu and exotic Newcastle disease have very similar symptoms. Both include coughing, sneezing, nasal discharge, depression, lack of energy and appetite, muscular tremors, drop in egg production, diarrhea, swelling of the tissues around eyes and neck. Both diseases are caused by viruses that are naturally occurring in wild birds. However, wild birds can have the disease and not show signs or symptoms. Migratory waterfowl pose a special risk to backyard poultry because these birds can travel thousands of miles while potentially bringing foreign animal diseases with them. It's not uncommon to see waterfowl flying overhead or at the local park. Tracking home waste from wild birds is a concern because the disease replicates very fast in chickens, increasing the chances of the virus mutating into a more serious form of the disease, like the kind that can infect humans. To lower your flock's risk of disease exposure, minimize contact with wild birds. You might consider removing bird feeders from your yard if you raise chickens. In addition to waterfowl, songbirds, birds of prey, and even household pet birds like parrots and canaries can also be carriers. For the average backyard chicken owner, biosecurity measures are fairly simple. If your flock doesn't have contact with other flocks, keeping a designated pair of outside shoes used only in your yard is sufficient. This will decrease your chances of transporting diseases to or from your yard because dirt and manure on shoes can harbor pathogens. If you have visitors to your yard with poultry of their own, consider increasing biosecurity measures. It's a good idea to rinse and disinfect shoes before returning home or allowing others onto your property. You can use disinfecting products you most likely have around the house. A spray-on disinfectant or disinfectant wipes can be used to clean your shoes. Another method is a combination of bleach and water as a foot bath. While effective, this can pose a danger to small children and pets if left unattended, so remember to dispose of the disinfectant solution properly. Removable boot covers or disposable booties are another option, and you might consider a designated pair of coveralls or other clothing for visitor use. Coop tours are fun and a great way to learn about backyard chicken keeping, as well as providing an opportunity for people with similar interests to meet. They have become extremely popular in cities all over the country, like Portland, for example. In fact, Portlanders are well known for having a very active and tight-knit chicken community, and it's said that there are more chickens in Portland than any other city. However, because hundreds of people go from yard to yard in a single day at a coop tour, the potential to bring in pathogens is much higher than normal. So coop tours require special attention to biosecurity measures. Foot baths are a good way to minimize the spread of disease at a coop tour, but when this many people are using the same foot bath, rinsing the bottom of shoes first or wiping them on a bristly surface before stepping into the bath is important. Remember to periodically change the disinfectant solution to keep it free of grass, leaves, and dirt, which can render it ineffective. The more foot traffic on the coop tour, the more often the solution should be changed. If you participate in coop tours and have poultry at home, be sure to remove and clean your shoes and ideally wash your clothes before returning to your own yard as an additional precaution. Live bird markets, county fairs, poultry swaps, feed stores can all pose a risk. If you buy poultry from any of these places, bring your own cage or box to transport them home and keep them separate from your flock for 30 days to make sure they're disease-free. Contaminated feed bags, cages, tools, etc. can be transported to your backyard without knowing it. These items should never be shared. Storing feed in a metal container and throwing away the bag will minimize potential exposure and prevent disease-carrying rodents, bugs, wild birds, and other animals from getting into the feed. It's easy to forget that feed can potentially become contaminated with pathogens while being made or stored before it even reaches the feed store. The Department of Agriculture takes biosecurity measures very seriously, especially since we often visit many farms. If we were to visit your backyard chicken flock, we would do our part to ensure the health of your birds. We would scrub our boots before entering your property and again upon leaving. We typically use commercial disinfectants, but homeowners can use the household cleaning products mentioned earlier. In addition, coveralls worn on site are washed before visiting someone else's property. Even our vehicles are frequently cleaned to prevent the spread of disease from farm to farm. The best way for you to help us is to know your animals. Healthy chickens exhibit normal behaviors such as eating, drinking, scratching, and dust bathing. If one of your chickens is lethargic or acting abnormally and you suspect it may be sick, contact your private veterinarian. However, in the event of a serious poultry disease, evidenced by sudden death in multiple birds, combined with the symptoms we've described, report this to your State Department of Agriculture immediately. If you're in Oregon, here's the number. The Department of Agriculture has a program called the National Poultry Improvement Plan, or NPIP, to screen for bird flu and other diseases. An animal health official will come to your house to conduct the testing if you're a member of this program. This involves taking a small sample of saliva or blood from your birds. Both tests are painless and can be done for a small fee. Please contact us if you're interested in this program. With your help, we can keep our state's backyard poultry healthy. Remember, you are your bird's first line of defense.